Hey, what's up guys? Jackson here with the Toaster Bros, and today I'm going to be doing a review of this Campbell Hausfeld 8-gallon quiet compressor. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so first thing is, I know a lot of our computer and tech people are like, okay, what's the point of having an air compressor for, if I'm mainly into computers and stuff? Well, Matt and I can both tell you that these things can actually come pretty in use for actually quite a bit of hardware related things. Now, one of the most important things that I use mine for a lot is, rather than buying those $5 to $6 things of canned air, not to mention you have to be 18 in most places to buy them, this works just as good, and it's basically an unlimited source of air. I just did the basic break-in procedure, which this is much more simple than many air compressors are. This is an oil-free compressor, so you don't have to maintain any oils or anything. The piston's self-lubricated. This one has an 8-gallon capacity, so it's an 8-gallon steel tank, nice and thick, and the welds are really good. It has these nice little tires. They look like they're maybe 5 or 6 inch tires, and a little noise dampener in the front. So just going over some of the features, we have both the gauges right here. So this one right here has the pressure regulator, so you just have one hookup right here where you can hook up your fitting in there and have whatever length hose you want. And then you can control the PSI coming out of there with this gauge and pressure regulator. This one right here is your overall tank PSI. This thing goes up to 125 PSI, that's how much it holds. And then I think once it hits 90 PSI, it refills. So right now we're at 0. Now over here we have a pressure relief valve where you pull this to let air out. Now what I really like about this compressor that a lot of bigger compressors even don't have is this valve right down here. So there's an on off, and what this is basically like a main drain where you can actually pretty much drain like excess moisture and stuff out. Because as people know, a lot of compressors, like for example this pancake one over here, just has a little thing up here to empty out the air, but a lot of times they don't have anything down here to actually get like the built up moisture, and over time the actual water that builds up in there. A lot of people don't think about it, and these compressors, the water doesn't go anywhere, and over time it builds up and causes the inside of the tank to rust, which is not a good thing. So I want you guys kind of see some of the specifications here. It's just 120 volts, so you can see I have like 3 or 4 different things hooked up. I think this thing only uses like 6 amps, so it's not going to be flipping any breakers or anything, even if you have multiple things on it. Like I said, 125 PSI, and it's 2.0 CFM at 90 PSI and 2.8 CFM at 40 PSI. Now, I'm going to go and let you guys know right now that is a pretty freaking low CFM. One of the reasons being is because you got to remember this thing's a quiet compressor. They have the exact same 8-gallon one, but in a non-quiet form, where it's basically just one piston, and this is actually 2 pistons, so it doesn't have to spin as fast of an RPM to build up the air in the same amount of time, and it also supposedly lasts 4 times longer just because it doesn't need that as much RPM. The pistons aren't moving as fast, and they can technically move like half the speed. I have had other air compressors though. I had a Harbor Freight that was 21 gallons, and that one, I think those are like 5 or 6 CFM at 40 PSI, and like 3 point something at 90 PSI. So those have a lot more CFM, and I'm used to having compressors with a lot more CFM, which is basically like the airflow volume. So for certain tools, this isn't going to be the best. And they have a little thing up top, which I read online, it's pretty accurate, where it shows like the basic tools that you can be using this for. So painting, nailing guns, and then obviously impacts and such, maybe even air wrenches, but we'll just have to see on that one. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to see how long this thing takes to go from 0 PSI all the way up to 125. So we're going to go ahead and flip this on. Alright, so that thing just finished filling up incredibly quick. So like I said, I absolutely love this thing. And then I'll let you guys hear down here. I'm not going to turn it all the way on because it's really freaking loud when you start letting all the air out, but you can see this is like a, go a little faster. It's like a main drain down there basically, where you can like instantly drain, it really fast. If I open it all the way, I can get all the PSI out in like, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds, so. But yeah, this thing though is just so quiet that it's absolutely amazing. So real quick though, I'm going to go ahead and drain some of the air out of this so then you guys can hear a comparison between these two. We just drained this one a little bit past 90 PSI so that it'll kick on. I guess first we'll do the quiet one. And by the way, camera is extremely close. The microphone is right here. and this thing picks up sound very, very well, so it's going to be very loud, but I'm going to back up though so you guys can get a realistic idea. Okay, so I'm about maybe 3 feet away, so I got this one going. Alright, now let's do this one. About the same distance away, and this is me trying to talk at the same time. Alright, and now with the quieter compressor, again, me trying to talk at the same time. So, yeah, big difference. So, just so you guys know, this is only a 3 gallon at, 1/3 horsepower. The other ones that I've had, I think were even louder. The Craftsman one that I had was 26 gallons. It was oilless, and it kind of had a similar looking motor on it, but I think that motor was 1.6 horsepower, and it had a really high CFM, and it was great once you got the tank filled up, but that took almost freaking 20 minutes because I think the piston rings might have been worn, because it's like the piston was pumping and everything, but there was just barely any air going into it, and it didn't leak or anything. So I don't know, that thing was just junk, and I sold that. All I can say though is that this thing, I'm not upset at all. I got it at Walmart for, I think it was like $150 something after tax. So I mean, in my opinion, for an 8 gallon one, it's a great deal. I used to be all about, hey, let me get the biggest compressor, that I could afford, like the most gallons so that I could run multiple tools for a very long period of time. Now I'm kind of just getting more to where I'm like, hey, I'm tired of having to close the garage to fill up my compressor because I feel like it's annoying people. I'm tired of having to, only be able to use the compressor till, 8 or 9 o'clock, when now I'm not even worried about having the garage door open and using the compressor. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up if you did, and if you want more videos like this where it's kind of just like a little bit on tech related, but still on a certain level tech related, then let me know down in the comments. And I'm pretty soon going to be having some more videos coming of the cars. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and have a little sneak peek here of what's going on with the truck now. So, I'm not going to give any details away yet, but just know that it's something great coming. So, we hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more stuff like this.